Hey nerds, Sages here. So you may be wondering, what are you playing, Sages? And well, to give you a better idea, I guess I should probably mention how this was pitched to me. So I used to really love Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics on the PlayStation 1. So when Square Enix came to me and they were like, here is a game from our collective. It's called Children of Zodiarcs, and it plays a lot like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics. And I was just like, sold, let's go. And yeah, so far that's what it's been like, and I'm actually so impressed with this. This is an indie game. Square Enix Collective, they basically fund this. This game has been kickstarted, and it's coming out on July 18th for the PlayStation 4 and Steam. So, where are we? What do we want? And what exactly is this game all about? Well, chances are, if you played any Fire Emblem game or any Final Fantasy Tactics game, you will be pretty familiar with this. It's the same sort of grid-based system where you go in and you have your own attacks, but there's a little twist to it, and we'll get into that as we start off this battle. So, you may notice at the bottom of the screen there are cards, and so I guess, well, that's just basically all I really need to tell you there, is that this battle system, it revolves around cards instead of just going in and pressing an action or going through a menu. Instead, your characters all have a deck. They all have abilities within that deck that are modified by certain things. We'll talk about that in a second. And every character is unique, and they all have their own abilities, and it's all about management when it comes to your cards and, what's on your hand and drawing, and there's just so much going on, but it's so much fun to just be able to play it. And, oh man, I had a huge nostalgia trip just kind of playing it because it plays so similar to Tactics for me, at least, and how it works, and I've just been enjoying every second. But so far, you can kind of get the idea. Every character, different cards, different abilities. In this session, you kind of tell I'm a little bit running on ahead, just kind of being a little risky, but, well, that's just kind of how I roll, I guess. But there's also, of course, the dice system here that you see. And by the way, guys, if you are actually watching this, any of you developers, whoever did the dice physics, please give them a promotion. That is just, like, that is where a lot of the physics are going there. They are just, they're amazing. I mean, I've never seen something like that. I guess there was a lot of dedication to that. Still, what dice do is that every card kind of has their own little ability, and you might see it. Hopefully I can actually get a good battle segment here going on. This is also kind of giving you an idea. Every, of course, enemy has their own card system as well. They have their own decks, so you need to play a bit wisely, and as you can see here, me not playing as smart as I could be, grouped up all of my allies, and they ended up losing some cards for it, so that's a bit of a problem. But I think after this I use Nami. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to use a back attack, which means no counter attack, so that's pretty neat. But as you can see here, I'm rolling the dice, and the dice have certain advantageous things that can happen. And for that one, when I got a star symbol with that card, you see that I got a free action. And that's kind of how the dice work. They can do all sorts of things, from bonus damage, to piercing armor, to, of course, giving a free action if I match the symbol that's on the card. So you get the idea. And from there, you can kind of see how this game flows, and so far, it's really, it's just so much fun to actually play, honestly, for me, at least. But then again, I'm a real big tactics nerd and, strategic game nerd, even though I'm not that great at these games. But of course, you also see that we're drawing cards. You can only have so many cards in your hand and in your deck and all sorts of other stuff. You can, of course, lose cards, as you've seen them before, with debuffs. So there's all this kind of intricate little things that are going on in the game right now. And I chose this map mostly because of the debuff that you get here, which is, of course, what you just saw. And it's all about preparing yourself for the enemy and being ready to fight. Make sure that you draw some cards, have some guard, guard maybe if you need it. Sorry if I'm looking over how, I didn't even notice that there is an enemy on the lower left side, and of course, more enemies spawn in. We're supposed to get over there, that's the victory condition. And as you can see here, we are about to be yeah, we're about to be hit pretty hard, at least a little bit for Pester there, but every enemy has their own cards, and of course this can mean the difference between a melee strike or a ranged battle. Usually every unit kind of has a mixture of both, so, you know, we have Nami, who kind of has this a bit more melee, but she can, of course, throw knives, and we have Pester up there who uses a gun, and we also have Bryce, who uses magic, and you get the basics, you know, kind of idea. If you've played any sort of Fire Emblem game or any sort of tactics game, you get the same basic idea. But mostly this plays a lot more like tactics to me, and that is just so welcome. I've been enjoying every second of it, and it's pretty interesting. And before anyone asks, yes, you can customize your deck as well. So it's not all about just, you know, what abilities you want. It's also what abilities you need to fit into your deck to make it perfect and, you know, make sure everything works as well as it possibly can. There are limitations, of course, but, you know, you get to have some fun and play around with it. You can also modify the dice you have as well, which does help with trying to create the best kind of setup. There's a lot of customization here, and it's a lot of fun from what I can tell. Granted, this is a press release, so therefore it's still missing chapters and a bit of story and things like that, and I didn't really want to touch on story here. That's kind of why I ignored it, mostly because I didn't, you know, it seems pretty interesting so far, and I don't want to ruin it in case you guys decide to pick it up on the 18th, because honestly, I'm pretty impressed. It's really... I was not sure how well this would work and how well it would go, but so far it feels a lot like tactics, and that was something that I believe was their original goal. And as you can see there, Bryce unlocked a new card, so as you level up, your characters get new abilities as well. So it's all about leveling up your units and doing all sorts of things. From that end, of course, another smoke bomb, and from there we're just going to, I think from here, guys, we're going to skip ahead to the end of the battle, and then we will take a look at what else is left. I'm going to go over card customization, and we're also going to look at skirmishes, which are something that if you played any sort of game like Heroes, or well, Heroes, Fire Emblem, Tactics, which have you, you probably will be pretty familiar with. So we're just going to head on in, and well, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, so there we go, completed that objective. Let's head on out to the next portion. And as you can see, there's a little bit of the world map, but mostly we're going to dive into card customization and just show you what's going on there. So, as well as skirmishes, apparently, which kind of show up on the world map. Very, very similar to how certain games manage the world map with these kind of things, but I welcome it. So anyways, let's just hop on over to party management, and I will show you that you basically, there's a deck builder. You can change your character's abilities, mix and match what you want your character to have in their deck. It's all very intricate, and I find it really fascinating, actually. It's just so, I don't know. It doesn't feel like magic or, you know, changing your characters too much. And then, of course, there's also equipping new dice, which change what you end up rolling, and it could be anything to more special abilities, to more damage, to more defense, you know, or even health back when you attack. It really makes me want to play more. Such a shame that this was restricted to 9 chapters, but hey, that's just how it goes when it comes down to press. But still, and I think about this point I'm gonna, just basically lock into another skirmish, which, just random encounters on the world map that you can decide to fight. And apparently there's also rare ones. So, there's all kinds of stuff to do. I think at this point I'm also not sure how flashbang works, but I'm just kind of dumb at this point. So do apologize if it comes off a bit weird. I was just wondering, should I use that or should I bother? But as you can see, it's a lot like, it gave me such a nostalgia rush. Basically just a lot like Tactics when I used to play in the heyday. In fact, right now, since I can't play more of this, I'm probably going to go back and just download Tactics onto my, tablet and play it there, War of the Lions, because apparently I'm just how that goes. But still, if you like games like this, I highly suggest checking it out. You know, it comes out on July 18th, again, on Steam and PlayStation 4. And I really need to thank Square Enix for letting me try this out, because it really brought back memories. Even though, you know, it's a new game, it feels a lot like those older, you know, strategy games, and that's something that I've been kind of looking forward to, or looking for, honestly. And it's a joy to behold. And yeah, so there you guys go. That was Children of Zodiarcs, and I really enjoyed it. So anyways, I'm gonna just let this battle play out a bit more for you to see, and, you know, I'm gonna leave a link to their Steam page as well as their Kickstarter and any other links I can possibly think of for you guys to go check out. So again, thank you, Square Enix, for reaching out to me and letting me try this out. I do apologize for all the delays. Mostly that's just my... God, I can't, like, just recording with this. I really need to get this whole situation fixed. But anyways, that's about it, guys. I will catch you all a bit later.